Welcome to the channel. Today we honor the American legends we've lost, individuals who left a lasting impact on history and inspired us all through their contributions to music, film, sports, and more. Though they are no longer with us, their legacy continues to resonate with millions. Let's take a moment to remember and celebrate these unforgettable American icons. Have you heard of the American legends we're discussing today? If you have, drop a 1 in the comments to honor their memory. If this is your first time learning about them, leave a 0. And don't forget to subscribe so you can continue exploring emotional stories about the people who shaped American history with us. Jean Marsh, the Emmy-winning British actress and co-creator of the groundbreaking series Upstairs, Downstairs, has passed away at the age of 90. She died on April 13th in London from complications related to dementia. Marsh is best remembered for her role as Rose Buck, the loyal maid, whose quiet strength and emotional depth became the heart of the critically acclaimed series. The show, which she co-created with Eileen Atkins in 1971, became a cultural phenomenon in both the United Kingdom and the United States, earning Marsh international fame and an Emmy Award. Born in 1934 in London, Marsh's early life was marked by hardship during World War II and a battle with infantile paralysis. Jean Marsh turned to acting after pursuing dance therapy, eventually making her mark on stage, television, and film. She brought sharp wit and intensity to roles in Doctor Who: Return to Oz, Willow, and The Changeling. Often portraying complex or villainous characters, her work challenged class norms and helped redefine period drama. Marsh is remembered as a pioneer whose talent and storytelling reshaped British television, leaving a lasting impact on the industry. Ruth Buzzi, the beloved comedian who brought laughter to millions through her unforgettable performances on Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, has passed away at 88. Her family confirmed that she died peacefully in her sleep on May 1st, at her home in Texas, following years of nursing home care as she battled Alzheimer's disease. A prominent television star in the 1960s and 70s, Buzzi became a household name with her Golden Globe-winning role on Laugh-In, where her character, Gladys Ormsby, complete with her signature wig and handbag, entertained audiences with her physical comedy and sharp wit. Beyond Laugh-In, Buzzi showcased her talent across generations, appearing on Sesame Street, The Berenstain Bears, The Steve Allen Comedy Hour, and even starring in Sweet Charity on Broadway. Ruth Buzzi's comedic timing, warmth, and distinctive voice earned her 5 Emmy nominations and the deep affection of fans worldwide. With her natural wit and heartfelt performances, she not only made audiences laugh, but also touched their hearts with her sincerity and relatability. Remembered as a comedic icon both on and off screen, Buzzi leaves behind a legacy filled with joy, resilience, and timeless laughter. She will live on in the memories of those who loved her, especially her husband of 43 years, Ken Perkins. Revered stage and screen actor Harris Yulin has passed away at 87, leaving a significant void in the hearts of his peers and fans. He died of cardiac arrest on June 10th in New York City. With a career spanning over 5 decades, Yulin was known and respected for his quiet yet powerful acting style, which he showcased in iconic films like Scarface, Ghostbusters 2, and Looking for Richard. He was also highly praised for his television work, especially his role on Frasier, for which he earned an Emmy nomination.
I think the girls with their nails done now.
Beyond his work in television and film, Harris Yulin made a lasting impression on Broadway with his brilliant performances in The Diary of Anne Frank and The Price, earning prestigious Drama Desk nominations. A powerful creative force in both regional and international theater, he co-founded the Los Angeles Classical Theater. At the time of his death, Yulin was still actively performing and was set to star in MGM Plus's American Classic series alongside veteran actors Kevin Kline and Laura Linney. Known for his artistic integrity, love of the sea, and passion for birdwatching, Harris Yulin leaves behind a legacy of timeless truth, elegance, and artistry. Valerie Mahaffey, the Emmy-winning actress known for her quirky charm and unforgettable performances in Northern Exposure and Big Sky, has passed away at 71. Her husband, actor Joseph Kell, confirmed her death on May 30th after a battle with cancer. Born in Indonesia and raised in Nigeria, England, and Texas, Mahaffey brought a unique global perspective and a passionate heart to her acting career. She began her career on Broadway in the late 1970s before transitioning to television, where she starred in The Doctor's Desperate Housewives, Young Sheldon, and Dead to Me. Valerie Mahaffey won an Emmy in 1992 for her role as Eve in Northern Exposure, a performance that perfectly captured the blend of sharp wit and emotional vulnerability. On the big screen, she starred alongside Hollywood legends in films such as Seabiscuit Sully and French Exit. Her most recent work included the Apple TV Plus series Echo 3 and the upcoming film The Eighth Day 2025. Mahaffey is survived by her husband and daughter, leaving behind a legacy of intelligence, versatility, and emotional depth. These qualities helped her touch the hearts of countless audiences across generations, and her influence will continue to resonate. Richard "Rick" Hurst, beloved for his role as Deputy Cletus Hogg on The Dukes of Hazzard, has passed away at 79. His death was confirmed on June 26th, though the cause of death has not yet been determined. Hurst joined the Dukes of Hazzard in 1980, quickly becoming a fan favorite with his innocent, lovable charm, bringing warmth and humor to every episode. His portrayal of Deputy Cletus remains one of the most memorable aspects of the iconic show. In addition to his iconic role on The Dukes of Hazzard, Rick Hurst appeared in popular shows such as MASH, Little House on the Prairie Ships, and The Wonder Years, as well as films like Steel Magnolias, Earth Girls Are Easy, and The Karate Kid Part 3. Fans and co-stars alike have praised Hurst for his warm spirit and dedication to staying connected with audiences long after the show ended. He was a familiar presence at fan conventions and reunion specials, always bringing his charm and kindness to those who loved his work. Rick Hurst reprised his role as Cletus in 2 television movies and remains a beloved figure in the Hazzard legacy. Survived by his son, Sons of Anarchy actor Ryan Hurst, Rick is remembered as a kind-hearted man whose comedic timing and infectious fun left a lasting impact on generations of television viewers. His legacy of warmth, humor, and authenticity continues to resonate with fans, ensuring his place in television history. Wings Hauser. The gritty actor known for his intense screen presence and roles in classic films and television series has passed away at 78. His wife, Callie Lily Hauser, confirmed his death in Carmel, California, where they built their life and creative partnership. Over a career that spanned 58 years, Wings left a lasting impact on film, television, and music, earning the respect of his peers and audiences alike. His versatile talent and unforgettable performances will continue to be remembered by fans across generations. Wings Hauser is remembered for his iconic performance as the violent pimp Ramrod in Vice Squad 1982, as well as notable roles in The Young and the Restless Murder. She wrote Magnum P.I. and Beverly Hills 90210. Born into a Hollywood family with his father being Oscar winner Dwight Hauser Wings, forged his own path defined by tenacity, passion, and unwavering dedication to his craft. He is survived by his wife Callie, daughter Bright, and son Cole Hauser, who stars in Yellowstone. Wings also created a documentary about his life titled Working Class Actor, a tribute to his legacy that Callie plans to complete in his memory. His contributions to film and television will continue to resonate through his family's work and his lasting impact on the industry. Bobby Sherman, a beloved teen idol of the late 60s and early 70s, has passed away at the age of 81. His wife, Brigitte Poublon Sherman, confirmed that he died peacefully on June 24th, holding her hand in his final moments. Known for his clean-cut charm and hits like Little Woman Julie, Do You Love Me and Easy, Come Easy Go. Sherman rose to fame as the star of ABC's Here Come the Brides. He became a pop sensation with his face adorning every teen magazine of the era, capturing the hearts of millions. His legacy as a teen idol and his timeless music will continue to be remembered by fans around the world. Beyond his fame, Bobby Sherman's heart was always dedicated to public service. He left the stage to become a certified EMT and reserve officer, saving lives and training law enforcement in emergency response. Sherman also made appearances on classic TV shows like The Partridge Family Murder, She Wrote, and Frasier, and later reconnected with his fans on his nostalgic Teen Idol tour. A proud father of 2 and grandfather of 6, Sherman lived a life filled with passion, purpose, and humility. His legacy lives on not only in pop culture, but also in his remarkable contributions to public service. Denzel Hayes. Washington Jr. was born on December 28, 1954, in Mount Vernon, New York. His mother, Lennis, owned a beauty salon filled with laughter advice and stories, while his father, Reverend Denzel Washington Sr., preached and drove a truck, instilling rigor and discipline. These dual influences provided a strong, balanced foundation for him. Denzel spent his weekends studying acting at the Boys and Girls Club and sang in church on Sundays. These early experiences gradually honed his leadership skills and developed his stage presence, setting the stage for his extraordinary career. Mount Vernon in the 1960s was alive with music, basketball, and street parties, but it also carried its share of temptation and danger. Sensing that her son was starting to change, Lennis made the decision to send him to Oakland Military Academy at the age of 14. The strict environment there instilled in him discipline, punctuality, and self-control. During his time at the academy, he also volunteered at the Salvation Army store, where he interacted with the elderly, absorbing valuable wisdom. This experience not only taught him responsibility, but also helped cultivate a deep sense of empathy. Washington was an avid reader, often spending time at the library devouring biographies of figures like Jackie Robinson and Sidney Poitier. Their stories inspired him to believe that success could begin from anywhere. After military school, he attended Mainland High in Daytona Beach, Florida. Following his parents' divorce, he moved in with his mother, embarking on a new life in the South. Despite the challenges, he excelled in academic sports and the performing arts. His teachers quickly noticed his confidence and his ability to speak with conviction, setting him apart as a young man with potential. Denzel Washington entered Fordham University as a journalism major, but everything changed when he took a drama class. The subject ignited his imagination and stirred deep emotions within him. His time in Florida further shaped his understanding of social injustice and deepened his sense of civic responsibility. While working at a snack bar, he saved money for acting classes and bus tickets to auditions. These quiet, determined efforts laid the foundation for his artistic journey. Denzel Washington fully immersed himself in theater at Lincoln Center, where theory and practice went hand in hand. During the day, he studied drama, and by night rehearsals stretched well past midnight. In the summer, he attended the Berkshire Playhouse, where his memory and emotions were tested by a grueling schedule. Each production sharpened his voice modulation, body control, and inner acting. Additionally, he worked as an artistic advisor at summer camps for working-class children in New York, teaching improv while learning from real-world practice. These experiences played a key role in shaping his theatrical instincts, setting the stage for his future success. To make ends meet and pay for his tuition, Washington worked late at a fast food restaurant. During the day, he attended acting workshops where he had the opportunity to learn from theater legends like August Wilson and Lorraine Hansberry. Balancing physical work with his artistic pursuits helped him develop breath control, the discipline of learning lines, and a serious approach to theater. By the time he graduated from Fordham in 1977 with a BA in drama and journalism, his career path was clear. He was determined to pursue acting not just as a career, but as a calling. That unwavering dedication propelled him to bigger stages and set the foundation for his remarkable career. Los Angeles welcomed Denzel Washington with the promise of the film world, while New York remained his spiritual home for theater. A prestigious scholarship to the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco gave him an even stronger technical foundation. Under the guidance of seasoned teachers, he explored the language of the script and the moral complexity of character. He studied movement, voice, and acting alongside classmates who would later achieve fame. Although he left the program after a year, the experience had a lasting impact on him. It became a pivotal moment that shaped his acting philosophy. Acting is about discovery, not just reenactment. Denzel Washington quickly found his first big break on television with his role as Dr. Philip Chandler on the NBC series St. Elsewhere in 1982, which established him as a trusted face for viewers. Over the course of the 96 episodes, he showcased a calmness, intelligence, and depth that made his character relatable and memorable. The series helped solidify his place in Hollywood and paved the way for his transition to film. Movies like A Soldier's Story, 1984, and Power, 1986, further highlighted his ability to command the screen. Even when paired with seasoned actors, Washington's presence and talent always stood out. Denzel Washington's first major breakthrough came with his portrayal of Steve Biko in Richard Attenborough's Cry Freedom, 1987. His performance was restrained, poignant, and iconic, capturing the essence of the anti-apartheid movement. The role earned him his first Oscar nomination and brought him global recognition. At the same time, his name began to appear in major newspapers as a rising star. Washington became the embodiment of a new generation of black actors breaking barriers in Hollywood. This pivotal role opened the door to a wealth of opportunities, propelling his career to even greater heights. In 1989, Denzel Washington's role as Private Trip in Glory solidified his standing as a powerful actor. The unforgettable scene where tears silently fall under the whip became an iconic moment in American cinema. His performance earned him his first Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. Washington's genuine emotions and inner strength captivated the audience, making it impossible to look away. From his humble beginnings in Mount Vernon, discipline and perseverance became his signature traits on screen. He was now more than just an actor, he was a symbol of raw talent and profound human depth. Denzel Washington entered the 1990s with a series of iconic roles that redefined many genres of drama. In Malcolm X 1992, he portrayed the complex journey of the civil rights leader, capturing his transformation from criminal to intellectual icon. Washington's performance combined subtle expression with a jazz-like delivery, leaving a lasting impact on popular culture. The film has since become a cultural touchstone, taught in classrooms and frequently quoted in everyday conversation. In thriller films like The Pelican Brief and Crimson Tide, he showcased his mastery of tension and calm, skillfully balancing integrity with emotional depth. His performances thrilled audiences while resonating on a profound level. As Reuben Hurricane Carter in The Hurricane, 1999. Denzel Washington once again had critics betting on him for an Oscar. Although he didn't win that year, the role solidified his status as Hollywood's moral conscience. However, it was Training Day 2001 that truly broke that mold. Washington's portrayal of the corrupt cop Alonzo Harris with his dark and sinister appeal earned him his second Oscar and marked a new chapter in his career. Washington proved that charisma wasn't reserved only for heroes. It could make villains just as memorable. His remarkable versatility solidified him as a force to be reckoned with in American cinema. The new millennium marked a period of peak action cinema for Denzel Washington. In Man on Fire 2004, he played both a ruthless protector and an emotionally driven father, creating the quintessential revenge man character. In Inside Man 2006, he showcased wit and irony as he battled a cunning bank robber in a tense standoff. Ridley Scott cast him as Frank Lucas in American Gangster 2007, where Washington blended charm and malice into a single unforgettable character. In Flight 2012, he portrayed an alcoholic pilot showing profound human frailty and expanding his emotional range. In each role, Washington maintained a sense of moral depth and haunting realism, further solidifying his place as one of the most versatile and powerful actors of his generation. Denzel Washington has also made a significant impact behind the camera. In Fences 2016, he adapted August Wilson's play for the screen, both directing and starring in the film. It earned multiple Oscar nominations, including a win for Viola Davis, showcasing his leadership and vision. Washington has used his influence to produce projects that highlight underrepresented voices. The Equalizer 3 2023 concluded his successful action franchise with a cool yet humane approach, demonstrating his ability to balance intensity with emotional depth. Whether on screen or behind the camera, Washington consistently chooses stories that resonate deeply, proving that true power lies in making a lasting impact. Denzel Washington's disciplined lifestyle was shaped early on in Mount Vernon. His military training and his mother's focus on healthy eating laid the foundation for his commitment to lifelong health. He used to jog at dawn praying while warming up in the cold air, a habit he continues to this day. Every morning he starts his day at 4:30 a.m. with stretching, drinking lemon water, and practicing gratitude. Friends joke that hotel gyms even adjust the air conditioning just for him. For Washington, physical discipline has become a key part of preparing both his mind and his roles, reinforcing his dedication to excellence in every aspect of life. Washington's training blends both physical intensity and mental discipline. It's never one without the other. He relies on plyometrics, meditation, and core workouts to stay sharp and energized. For Malcolm X, he dropped 12 pounds using intermittent fasting and high-intensity boxing. For The Hurricane, he added muscle to portray a middleweight sparring 6 rounds daily. These demanding roles have taken a toll, like the patellar tendonitis he developed during Remember the Titans, which eventually required surgery. while preparing for safe house repetitive weapons drills, led to shoulder inflammation, pushing him to undergo cryotherapy, just part of the price he pays for full commitment. Determined not to delay filming, Washington learned to ice himself between takes to reduce inflammation and accelerate recovery. He added Pilates to build controlled, lasting strength and used hyperbaric chambers to enhance muscle repair. Even his rest time had intention. Golf became a form of walking meditation, and swimming in the ocean helped boost his lung capacity. For Washington, it wasn't about bursts of effort, but consistency. Every detail was a deliberate part of a bigger plan to treat his body like it was one of his greatest roles. When Washington turned 50, he came face to face with genetic red flags. A routine checkup revealed borderline high blood pressure, just like his late father's. He responded with a complete lifestyle shift, cutting back on sodium, adopting a Mediterranean diet, and adding beetroot juice to improve blood vessel flexibility. He brought on celebrity trainer Gunnar Peterson to craft workouts that kept his heart rate steady without losing intensity. Sleep became sacred. No phones, blackout curtains, and metronome breathing to protect his REM cycle. He approached his health with the same discipline as preparing for a new role, scheduling cardio screenings right alongside his filming calendar. That dedication paid off in The Equalizer 3, where Washington displayed sharp reflexes and impressive endurance despite being nearly 70. His movements carried the precision and power of someone 15 years younger. But to him, mental resilience mattered just as much as physical strength. After emotionally demanding roles, he found balance through journaling, hiking with his wife Pauletta, and attending church retreats. Their conversations centered on jazz, faith, and family, not box office stats. He maintained harmony between his inner life and public image with habits that deepened his spiritual foundation. After the demands of acting, Washington always finds ways to restore balance. Following training day, he spends a week volunteering at a summer camp for inner-city youth, leading prayer and coaching basketball. He describes his faith as a spiritual immune system, protecting him from the toxic side of fame before it turns into anxiety. He also speaks candidly about the therapy sessions that helped him process the loss of his mother in 2021. For Washington, expressing emotion is a courageous act, something that should be as routine as a health checkup. He sees vulnerability not as weakness, but as a strength to be embraced and shared. Washington turned to community action shaped by personal experience. He partnered with Mount Vernon Hospital to fund free prostate cancer screenings in underserved areas where rates are disproportionately higher among African Americans. During the pandemic, he donated 100,000 surgical masks to frontline workers and gifted Peloton bikes to boys and girls clubs. He also produced a digital mini-series to help art students develop mindfulness and prevent burnout. These efforts weren't just symbolic, they made a real difference. Washington continues to show that meaningful impact often comes not from headlines, but from quiet acts of generosity. Washington recently launched a heart research foundation at UCLA focused on improving cardiovascular health in the Black community. He's also appeared in public service campaigns urging African American men to get screened for colon cancer before age 50. Now, nearing 71, he sees longevity not just as a personal milestone, but as a product of giving back. Your gift, he says, is the life you add to other people's years. It's a phrase that sums up his philosophy, a quiet, unwavering commitment that flows from the spotlight to his everyday life. On August 14, 1991, Denzel's father, Reverend Denzel Washington Sr., passed away from a stroke at age 62, a loss that deeply affected him. Though there was love between them, their relationship was built on discipline and duty. The absence of his once powerful preacher's voice left Denzel emotionally shaken. While promoting Ricochet, he masked his grief behind a composed exterior. Alone in his hotel room, he turned to the Bible, searching for his father's voice in familiar verses. Back in Mount Vernon, he made a silent promise every role he took on would serve as a meaningful tribute to the man who shaped him. To honor that promise, Washington created scholarships at Fordham in his father's name, supporting students who came from circumstances like his own. But the losses didn't end there. In 2009, he mourned the death of close friend and co-star Michael Clark Duncan, whom he saw as a brother and teammate in the industry after Duncan passed from heart failure. That moment drove home a powerful truth: the legendary figures Hollywood builds are still human, with hearts just as fragile. For Washington, grief needed space, not spotlight, and he's always found quiet ways to let the pain move through. Three years later, director Tony Scott, who had collaborated with Washington on 3 major films, also passed away. Washington paused filming Two Guns to attend a private memorial service in Los Angeles. In the chapel, he quietly reflected on every scene and every action. Tony called out moments that propelled his career to new heights. It was more than the loss of a director. It was the farewell to a mentor who helped shape him into a cinematic icon. That artistic bond left a deep void, one Washington honored with quiet respect rather than grand speeches. That same summer, Washington faced the heartbreak of Whitney Houston's passing. Her music had filled his home, played through speakers set up by his daughter, making her loss feel like a star gone from their family sky. The Newark funeral echoed the grief of an entire generation. In response, Washington quietly funded youth choirs, addiction counseling, and job training programs in the neighborhoods where she had lived. No names were publicized and no media attention was sought. For him, honoring a legacy was about meaningful action, not empty ritual. In August 2020, Washington's close circle faced another profound loss when Chadwick Boseman passed away after a private, courageous fight with cancer. Boseman had publicly thanked Denzel for funding an actor training program that helped launch his career. Their bond went beyond colleagues. They shared a mentor-student relationship across generations. Upon hearing the news on the set of The Little Things, Washington asked the crew to observe a moment of silence. Taking a deep breath, he felt the weight of the baton he once passed, now returned a sacred reminder that this responsibility transcended the personal. It was the torch of an entire generation. He revisited Boseman's letters about the power of opportunity, which inspired him to deepen his dedication to producing projects that uplift emerging Black talent. Each loss seemed to broaden the space in his heart, letting more empathy in even as grief lingered. Personal tragedy struck again in June 2021 when he lost his mother Lennis at the age of 97. The woman who transformed Mount Vernon's gossip into life lessons had passed peacefully. Yet her absence left his mornings quieter. No more dawn calls reminding him to say his prayers or drink water. Washington spent a week back at their childhood home, wandering the neighborhood where she once braided the hair of local children, inhaling the faint scent of polished salon chairs. At her funeral, Washington spoke of her laughter like a bell ringing over his mistakes, and her firm belief that love, not applause, was life's true measure. Months later, he honored her memory by founding a beauty arts program, donating hair kits to single mothers seeking fresh career paths. His mornings remain sacred rituals. Before his pre-dawn workout, he lights a candle each flame, a quiet thank you for the guidance that lives on beyond loss. Today, Denzel Washington stands at the crossroads of legacy and relentless drive, approaching his 7th decade with an energy that would humble men half his age. From his hilltop home in Los Angeles, he balances acting roles, directing projects, and charity board meetings, each task paced with the steady discipline instilled during his time in military school. His mornings begin in the home gym, where gospel music fills the space around the weight racks, then move to a quiet breakfast with his wife Pauletta, where the day's schedule feels like a carefully crafted battle plan. By mid-morning, he's either mapping out scenes for a new courtroom thriller or meeting with literary agents to secure the rights for adapting his next August Wilson project.
I think the girls with their nails done now.
Afternoons are spent on set mentoring young actors, offering nuanced guidance on delivering lines like a seasoned jazz musician, passing soulful riffs to the next generation. Evenings wind down with family dinners and FaceTime prayers, bridging the distance to grandchildren and connecting them to the wisdom and traditions of their ancestors. Behind the camera, Washington's impact goes beyond acting. Through Monday Lane Entertainment, he serves as a creative architect, launching fresh new voices. His current slate includes a limited series on Thurgood Marshall's Supreme Court years, a documentary spotlighting historically black colleges, and a faith-driven thriller penned by a first-time Harlem screenwriter. Each project is pitched in 15-minute presentations, following his elevator pitch rule, balancing commercial appeal with meaningful messages. Risks are shared through partnerships with Netflix, Apple TV+, and Broadway investors who trust his proven ability to deliver both critical acclaim and audience success. He stayed personally involved, dropping into the editing room to review cuts or pulling producers aside to ensure the crew's dietary needs were respected. Crew members said a visit from Washington could boost morale for days, combining Shakespearean gravitas with barbershop humor. At the heart of his public mission was education, a cornerstone he never compromised. The Denzel Washington Chair at Fordham University offers a full scholarship to a minority drama student covering tuition, housing, and auditions in New York or London. Each spring, he teaches courses on text analysis, money management, and mental health for aspiring actors. Similar programs at Wiley College Baylor and the Boys and Girls Club blend arts education with nutrition and mindfulness. During the pandemic, he transformed his bedroom into a 4K studio streaming lessons on Shakespeare and hip-hop. The classes filled within minutes, showcasing the power of combining talent with generosity. For Washington, teaching is a vital part of his life's mission. He sustains his faith through virtual worship services called Table of 12, where pastors, ex-convicts, and teen poets gather to discuss the Bible and community challenges. Activities include utility, bill assistance, food distribution, and vaccination drives. Every Sunday, he alternates between God in Christ Church and small congregations in South Central, always sitting quietly in the back. These moments keep him deeply connected to his faith. For Washington, faith isn't just personal, it's action. And it's this humility that transforms fame into service. When recognized, he focused on local initiatives, food pantries, coding boot camps, voter registration buses, believing that celebrity should shine a light on issues, not overshadow them. No press releases accompanied these efforts. For Washington, remaining anonymous was the greatest luxury. His future looked less like a countdown to retirement and more like a blueprint for renewal and growth. Production on Journal for Jordan 2. kicks off next spring with son John David Washington directing and Denzel serving as executive producer and occasional acting coach. Pre-production is underway for a Broadway revival of August Wilson's King Hedley II, set to open in 2027 before a film adaptation. Meanwhile, discussions are ongoing to expand the Equalizer franchise into a limited series passing the lead role to a young actress, a story Washington sees as a powerful reflection of legacy being passed on. Personal goals include mastering conversational Italian, lowering his golf handicap to single digits, and compiling his mother's parables into a hardcover book he hopes to publish before turning 75. For Denzel Washington, legacies are written in the present tense. In his practice room, he approaches each script like a general surveying terrain, marking lines with a mechanical pencil that changes colors to highlight metaphor tempo and key pivot points. He insisted that the first full script reading be done standing up, not seated around a table, believing that muscle memory imprints emotion more deeply than intellect. When newcomers grew tense, he slowed scenes down to ease the pressure, then ramped up to full speed so adrenaline would sharpen their precision. The camera only started rolling after he paced each scene, checking the echoes, angles, and lighting, almost as if savoring the atmosphere before battle. Between takes, he stayed close to the monitor, rewinding footage at half speed to study subtle gestures and eye movements the audience might subconsciously notice. Lunch breaks turned into storytelling sessions, where he shared lessons from Poitier's patience, Scott's precision, and Boseman's courage. Each story ended with a question challenging his colleagues to define their own guiding principles. By the day's end, crew members walked away, not just with a shot, but with a personal manifesto of discipline, service, and storytelling responsibility. The shelves in Washington's home office display a timeline of achievement, each award a milestone in cinematic history. 2 Oscars shine alongside 3 Golden Globes, a Tony, the Cecil B. DeMille Lifetime Achievement Award, an American Film Institute honor, and the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which he received in 2022 for championing stories that expand civic empathy. Awards from the NAACP and the Directors Guild sit alongside framed stills from Malcolm X Training Day and Fences, while an old director's plaque from St. Elsewhere hangs like a talisman of his beginnings. He shares the behind-the-scenes stories of each award, with visitors recalling the standing ovation when he became only the 2nd black man to win Best Actor. A backstage hug with Viola Davis after their Broadway play shattered box office records. A message from Sidney Poitier that simply said, "Good job, soldier." But for Washington, the true reward is the ripple effect scholarships funded, neighborhoods revitalized, and generations inspired to see themselves in stories once closed off. The Family remains his favorite work. A series co-written with Pauletta debuted in 1983 and ran for a full season. Their 4 children, John David Katia and twins Malcolm and Olivia, filled the Thanksgiving table with laughter, reminiscent of Mount Vernon hair salons, chatting about sports contracts, editing notes and Bible verses while enjoying Pauletta's okra gumbo. John David's rise from aspiring NFL player to blockbuster movie star brought Washington more joy than any sense of being overshadowed. Father and son traded scripts like seasoned quarterbacks tossing blind passes. Katia managed projects behind the camera while Malcolm directed music videos. For Denzel Washington, philanthropy is the foundation of his artistic life, not just an add-on. Since 1995, his family foundation has quietly supported literacy programs, arts initiatives for orphans, and disaster relief, always maintaining discretion to preserve recipients' dignity. He's funded STEM labs, started debate teams in rural communities, and visited veterans to deepen his craft. During the pandemic, he transformed his stage into a PPE warehouse and filmed motivational videos for frontline workers. Washington believes the best giving is the kind that doesn't require fanfare. He also runs a live mentorship program, helping emerging artists sharpen their skills right on set. When selecting a script, Washington follows 3 key criteria: message pacing and moral impact. He studies each page like a map color-coding dialogue to trace themes from justice to redemption. Characters must be layered, and the story should spark social conversation or he passes. He sees himself as a strategic manager, not just an actor. Through Monday Lane Entertainment, he invests in real estate, renewable energy, and minority-led tech startups, each venture a scene contributing to a bigger story. For Washington, finance is an art form. Every dollar must have a purpose.
I think the girls with their nails done now.
Legacy, he says, is an open-ended storyboard, not a final scene. He directs his life like a film, with each moment a disciplined, purposeful act of service to his community. Earnings from his streaming deals fund family scholarships and support emerging filmmakers. Washington believes true success is equipping the next generation to tell their own stories. Everything he does, acting, investing, mentoring, philanthropy, centers on one goal: inspiring the next voice. It's the most important role he's ever taken. Julian McMahon, the Australian actor renowned for his roles in Nip Tuck and Charmed, has passed away at 56. His wife, Kelly, confirmed his death on July 2nd in Clearwater, Florida, after a lengthy battle with cancer. McMahon was widely known for his magnetic on-screen presence, first rising to fame as Cole Turner on Charmed, and later captivating audiences with his portrayal of Dr. Christian Troy on Nip Tuck, a role that defined his career for 7 seasons. Julian McMahon also portrayed the infamous Victor Von Doom in the Fantastic Four films, and recently starred in CBS's FBI Most Wanted, where he described his role as Jess Lacroix as one of his most meaningful. Born into a prominent political family, with his father being former Australian Prime Minister William McMahon, Julian carved out a significant legacy in Hollywood. Off-screen, he was known for his warmth, passion, and deep love for his family, friends, and fans. He is survived by his wife, Kelly, daughter Madsen, and a body of work that continues to inspire. Dame Joan Plowright, one of Britain's most revered actresses and a true giant of stage and screen, has passed away at 95. She died peacefully on January 16, 2025, surrounded by her family. Over her remarkable 7-decade career, Plowright made an indelible mark on stage, film, and television, earning numerous accolades, including 2 Golden Globes in one night and a Tony Award. Known for her sharp wit and wide emotional range, she starred in films such as The Entertainer, Enchanted April, Dennis the Menace, 101 Dalmatians, and Tea with Mussolini, leaving behind a legacy of unforgettable performances. Joan Plowright also left an indelible mark on Broadway and the West End, with her National Theatre credits solidifying her place as a theatrical icon. Married to Laurence Olivier from 1961 until his death in 1989, Plowright was both his creative partner and unwavering companion. In her later years, she spoke candidly about acting, aging, and the meaning of life. Legally blind since 2014, she retired with grace and gratitude. Plowright leaves behind 3 children and a legacy defined by excellence, integrity, and artistic courage. Of the legends you've seen, who has left the deepest impression on you? Share their names in the comments and tell us why they inspire you. Their stories aren't just a part of our past. They are the torch that lights our present and future. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss the next touching stories. Val Kilmer celebrated for his iconic roles in Top Gun, and Batman Forever has sadly passed away at 65. His daughter, Mercedes Kilmer, confirmed that he died of pneumonia on April 1st. Kilmer, who was diagnosed with throat cancer in 2014, endured years of health struggles that impacted his voice and career. Despite these challenges, he made a heartwarming return to the screen in Top Gun Maverick 2022, where he reunited with Tom Cruise for a poignant final appearance. Born in Los Angeles in 1959, Kilmer also gained recognition for his memorable roles in Top Secret: The Doors and Heat. In 2021, his documentary, Val, offered an honest, emotional look at his life, earning critical acclaim. Offstage, Kilmer was a devoted father to two children, Mercedes and Jack, from his marriage to actress Joanne Whalley. He also explored painting and theater, including a one-man show as Mark Twain. His last post in March shared one of his artworks, a quiet farewell from a legendary actor who turned pain into powerful stories. He leaves behind a legacy of bold performances, creativity, and resilience. Richard Chamberlain, the iconic film and television star known as one of Hollywood's first leading heartthrobs, has passed away at 90. He died peacefully on March 29th at 11:15 p.m. in Waimanalo, Hawaii, due to complications from a stroke. His longtime partner, Martin Rabbit, shared a heartfelt tribute describing him as a loving soul, now soaring to the loved ones who have gone before us. Chamberlain first gained fame in the 1960s with his starring role in Dr. Kildare, a groundbreaking medical drama that catapulted him to household name status. For decades, Richard Chamberlain dominated the small screen with unforgettable performances in iconic miniseries, such as Shogun, The Thornbird Centennial, and The Bourne Identity. His remarkable career earned him 4 Emmy nominations and a Golden Globe, with the New York Times dubbing him the king of the miniseries due to his unmatched success in the genre. Born in Los Angeles in 1934, Chamberlain was also a celebrated stage actor performing in Shakespeare and starring in Broadway plays. In 2003, he made history by coming out as gay in his memoir, Shattered Love, which revealed the struggles of being a closeted star in mid-century Hollywood. His legacy is defined by groundbreaking roles, artistic brilliance, and unwavering personal strength. Leslie Charleson, best known for her iconic role as Monica Quartermain on General Hospital, has passed away at 79. Her death was confirmed on January 12th by executive producer Frank Valentini, who described her as the heart of the Quartermain family and a treasured presence on set. Charleson joined General Hospital in 1977, becoming the longest-serving cast member in the history of daytime soap operas. Throughout her remarkable career, she received 4 Daytime Emmy nominations and earned the affection of fans for her heartfelt portrayal of Monica's passion, vulnerability, and inner strength. One of her most impactful storylines was her portrayal of Monica's battle with breast cancer, a role she considered one of my proudest. Born in Kansas City in 1945, Leslie Charleson began her career with roles in television shows like A Flame in the Wind. Love is a many-splendored thing, and as the world turns before becoming a beloved icon of American daytime television. Off-screen, she was admired for her wit, commitment, and deep love for the art of acting. With decades of dedication, Leslie Charleson leaves behind a profound and inspiring legacy that will forever live in the hearts of her fans and in the annals of television history. George Wendt, best known for his role as Norm Peterson on the classic sitcom Cheers, has passed away at 76. He died peacefully in his sleep on May 20th at his home, according to a statement from his family. Wendt became a household name with his portrayal of Norm, the endearing bar regular whose entrance sparked the legendary Norm cheers in every episode. Appearing in all 275 episodes of Cheers, he received 6 Emmy nominations and became a beloved icon of 80s television. Wendt's impeccable comedic timing, relatable charm, and laid-back delivery made Norm one of TV's most adored characters. Born in Chicago in 1948, Wendt started his career at the Second City before embarking on a long and successful television and film journey. He also starred on Broadway and lent his voice to several animated shows. Even after Cheers, Wendt continued to entertain, appearing on SNL, The Simpsons, Seinfeld, and The Masked Singer. He leaves behind a lasting legacy of laughter and warmth, survived by his wife, Bernadette, and their 3 children. Michael Madsen, the gritty actor known for his memorable roles in Reservoir Dogs and Kill Bill, has died at the age of 67. According to authorities, Madsen died on July 3rd after suffering cardiac arrest at his Malibu home. There is no indication of foul play. Michael Madsen, widely recognized for his portrayal of complex, tough characters, was a fixture in Quentin Tarantino's films, including his iconic roles as Mr. Blonde in Reservoir Dogs and Bud in Kill Bill. He also appeared in The Hateful Eight and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Despite facing challenges in the industry, Madsen often credited Tarantino for his unwavering support throughout his career. In recent years, Madsen ventured into independent films and was set to release a new book of poetry titled Tears for My Father. His team remembered him as one of Hollywood's most iconic actors. Survived by his children and estranged wife, Deanna Madsen, had recently returned to public events and had several film projects lined up, leaving behind a legacy defined by his grit, vulnerability, and cinematic intensity. Jonathan Joss, the actor renowned for voicing the character John Redcorn in the animated series King of the Hill, passed away at 59 on June 9, 2024 in San Antonio after being shot. According to police, the incident occurred around 7 p.m. Joss was found with multiple gunshot wounds and did not survive despite immediate medical attention at the scene. A suspect believed to be the victim's neighbor was arrested after the incident, which is thought to stem from a long-standing dispute. Joss's husband, Tristan Kern de Gonzalez, stated that the couple had endured years of threats and harassment, and he accused the incident of being a hate crime. Police are still investigating and have not yet confirmed if the motive was related to sexual orientation. Jonathan Joss voiced John Redcorn from Season 2 to Season 13 of King of the Hill and recently completed voice work for the upcoming revival season. Besides King of the Hill, he also appeared in films and shows like Parks and Recreation, True Grit, Ray Donovan, Tulsa King, and The Magnificent Seven. He's remembered as an indispensable part of King of the Hill's legacy. Jonathan is survived by his beloved husband and will make a final appearance in the upcoming season of the series. Veteran American actress Renee Victor, known for her voice work as Abuelita in the beloved Disney Pixar animated film Coco, has passed away. Born in San Antonio, Texas, Renee moved to Los Angeles in the 1960s to pursue her artistic career. She began her career as a singer and dancer, performing with her husband in the group Ray and Renee and pioneering the promotion of Latin music. Besides her moving role as Abuelita in Coco, she was also remembered by audiences for her role as Lupita in the Showtime series Weeds. Renee Victor was a versatile artist with a career spanning decades, leaving her mark not only on screen but also in the hearts of her fans. Across the United States, Renee Victor began her television career as the host of Pachas Setters on KTLA, where she focused on exploring the Chicano movement. In 1973, she joined the Screen Actors Guild and gradually made her mark through numerous television shows such as Matlock ER House of Pain and Snowpiercer. On the big screen, she appeared in notable films like The Apostle: A Night in Old Mexico and Confessions of a Shopaholic. Beyond her on-screen roles, she was also a beloved voice actress in popular video game series like Skyrim and Oblivion Remastered. Renee's representative confirmed her passing, marking the significant loss of an artist who left a deep and inspiring mark across generations. James Lowe, the frontman of the Electric Prunes, the renowned psychedelic pop-rock band of the 1960s, passed away on May 22, 2025, at the age of 82. His family announced that he died peacefully, surrounded by music and loved ones. Lowe was renowned for the hit song, "I Had Too Much to Dream Last Night," a top 10 track that became an icon of the psychedelic rock movement. The Electric Prunes were known for their experimental and innovative sound, utilizing wah-wah pedals and reverse recording techniques to create their unique style. Her work to raise awareness and funds for AIDS research earned her widespread respect and admiration. In her personal life, Taylor went through several turbulent marriages and relationships, yet she remained a strong and independent woman, facing life's challenges with grace and determination. Elizabeth Taylor passed away in 2011 at the age of 79, leaving behind a legacy that continues to influence generations. She is remembered not only for her unmatched talent and beauty, but also for her compassion and relentless commitment to making the world a better place. Actress Loretta Swit, an Emmy winner known for her role as Major Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan in the acclaimed television series MASH, has passed away at her New York home at the age of 87. According to her longtime representative, Haran Bolu, she died of natural causes. Her role as Houlihan earned Swit 10 consecutive Emmy nominations and 2 wins in 1980 and 1982. Her character evolved from a humorous tough figure into a profound army nurse, reflecting the show's own transition from satire to drama. Her co-star Alan Alda once praised Swit as someone who turned a caricature into a real human being full of emotion. Swit herself said, "I created it. I lived that role to the fullest." Born Loretta Jane Swit in Passaic, New Jersey, to a Polish immigrant family, she began acting at age 7 and later studied at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. Before her breakthrough role in MASH, she appeared in Hawaii, 5-0, Mission Impossible Gunsmoke, and many other television shows. Beyond the screen, Swit also performed on Broadway and in national tours. She was also an animal rights activist, founding the Sweetheart Animal Alliance and receiving numerous humanitarian accolades. Swit was married to actor Dennis Holohan. The family encourages memorial donations to actors and others for animals or the Sweetheart Animal Alliance. She is also an animal rights activist, founder of the Sweetheart Animal Alliance, and has received numerous humanitarian awards. Swit was previously married to actor Dennis Holohan. The family encourages donations in memory of the organization, actors, and others for animals or Sweetheart Animal Alliance. Actor Peter Kwong, best known for his role as Rain in John Carpenter's cult classic film Big Trouble in Little China, passed away peacefully in his sleep on Tuesday night at the age of 73. His representative confirmed the news but did not disclose specific details. A native of Sacramento, California, Kwong began his acting career in the late 1970s with guest roles in television series such as the A-Team Wonder Woman Little House on the Prairie, Miami, Vice, MacGyver, Cagney, and Lacey, and Dynasty. In 1986, he achieved a major breakthrough with his role as Rain, one of the three supernatural warriors in John Carpenter's classic film Big Trouble in Little China, starring alongside Kurt Russell and Kim Cattrall. In the same year, he also appeared in The Golden Child with Eddie Murphy and Never Too Young to Die with John Stamos. Beyond acting, Peter Kwong also taught and produced content significantly contributing to improving the representation of Asian Americans in the entertainment industry. Beyond acting, Peter Kwong was also actively involved in professional organizations within the entertainment industry. He served for over a decade on the National Board of SAG Screen Actors Guild, was a board member of the AFA, and held various leadership roles within the Television Academy and the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. Peter Kwong is remembered not only for his impressive screen presence, but also for his unwavering commitment to promoting and safeguarding the film and television industry. Actor Ed Gale, best known for his leading role in Howard the Duck and for portraying Chucky in the Child's Play film series, passed away on Tuesday in Los Angeles at the age of 61. His niece, Kay Gale, shared the sad news through a touching, humorous tribute, a reflection of his vibrant personality and admirable career. Ed began his journey in California at just 20 years old with only $41. And a dream going on to build a career spanning over 130 roles in film, television, and commercials. He became a cultural icon with his starring role in Howard the Duck, a film that achieved cult status and continued to make his mark in Child's Play 2 and Bride of Chucky, embodying the haunted doll that captivated audiences worldwide. Ed Gale also appeared in Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town Land of the Lost as the dinosaur Tasha, and made appearances in series and films such as My Name is Earl Baywatch, Third Rock from the Sun, O Brother, Where Art Thou, Bill, and Ted's Bogus Journey, and Tiptoes. A Michigan native, Ed wasn't just loved for his unique roles, but also for his friendly, humorous, and approachable demeanor at fan events. His legacy is one of laughter, unforgettable performances, and a spirit that continuously spread joy. Actress Kathleen Hughes, a 1950s screen icon known for classics like It Came from Outer Space and The Glass Web, passed away on May 19, 2024, at the age of 96. She was renowned as a scream queen and a glamour mermaid on the silver screen, not just for her striking looks, but also for her charm, intelligence, and humor. Born Elizabeth von Gerkan in Los Angeles on November 14, 1928, Hughes entered the film industry in the late 1940s during the golden age of the studio system. She quickly made a name for herself with prominent roles in science fiction horror films and was one of the first actresses to make an impact in 3D movies. Kathleen was married to producer Stanley Rubin for nearly 60 years, a bond rooted in their shared love for cinema. Beyond her acting career, she was a mother to 4 children and a cherished friend within the Hollywood artistic community. Hughes continued to attend film screenings and festivals well into her 90s, always ready to engage with fans with a friendly smile and fascinating behind-the-scenes stories. Her image in It Came from Outer Space became a pop culture icon often used in various materials without permission, a fact her husband used to humorously point out. Kathleen Hughes's passing marks the end of a golden era of classic cinema, but her spirit, grace, and legacy will live on with film lovers. Oscar-winning documentary filmmaker Marcel Ophuls has passed away at 97. He was known for profound works like The Sorrow and the Pity and Hotel Terminus films that transformed how viewers approach history and justice. Following that success, Marcel directed critically acclaimed documentaries such as The Memory of Justice, A Sense of Loss, and notably, Hotel Terminus, the Oscar-winning film that recounted the story of the notorious war criminal Klaus Barbie. Born in Germany and raised in France and then the United States after fleeing the Nazi regime, Marcel was the son of legendary director Max Ophuls. Growing up in a cinematic environment, he developed a distinctive filmmaking style using direct interviews, valuable archival footage, and a patient ear to illuminate the darkest and most complex aspects of modern history. Ophuls combined direct interview style, rare historical footage, and a keen eye for detail to create unforgettable documentaries that consistently challenged national myths. Although he withdrew from filmmaking in his later years, he leaves behind a powerful legacy of films that continue to inspire and provide truth for generations to come. Marcel Ophuls was honored not only for his filmmaking skills, but also for his courage in confronting sensitive topics such as war crimes, hidden truths, and the complexities of collective memory. His work stands as a testament to the power of documentary cinema, an art form that can compel the world to look inward. Richard Tiffany Gere was born on August 31, 1949, in a small farming community in North Syracuse, New York, where quiet roads blended into grazing pastures and wide open skies. His father, Homer George Gere, was an insurance agent but also a tireless craftsman. Broken radios, scraps of wood bolts, he resurrected them into useful items, teaching his son that curiosity is a discipline, not just a passing interest. His mother, Doris Ann Tiffany, once dreamed of being a singer. Their small home always echoed with hymns and classical melodies amidst the gentle daily practice of the piano. As the fourth of 5 children, Richard grew up surrounded by music and the metallic sounds from his father's workshop, learning that art and engineering were simply two sides of the same passion. The young Richard was observant, preferring to listen rather than speak, but always remembering everything around him as if gathering material for a play yet to be born. Friends recall him from his trumpet performances in the school band, daring gymnastics on the mat, and summers spent immersed in Finger Lake, where he found a blend of extraordinary physicality and a calm inner self. Richard's teenage years were a blend of art and labor. He composed scores for school plays, sewed his own costumes when the budget was tight, and readily stayed after hours to adjust lighting or clear the stage. At 16, he played Dodger in the community theater's production of Oliver, a mischievous grin concealing meticulous preparation. On those nights, beneath thick makeup and hot stage lights, Richard felt that storytelling was a sacred ritual, a relay between actor and audience, where every emotion was a torch that mustn't be dropped. Despite his passion for the arts, Richard was also an excellent student, earning enough good grades to secure a gymnastics scholarship to the University of Massachusetts Amherst in 1967. He majored in philosophy, but only for 1 semester. His passion for the stage won out. He left school before final exams to join the Seattle Repertory Theater, a decision that stunned his parents, but for Richard, it was the first confident step into the world he dreamed of. In his early days in Seattle, Richard slept on friends' floors, worked unpaid backstage, and rehearsed roles from dawn till dusk. He learned to transform flexibly through Shakespearean roles, every line memorized like a vital habit. Through this, youthful enthusiasm was forged into artistic endurance. When he returned to the East in 1973 to star in a Greek play produced by a London troupe, his quiet yet powerful presence quickly caught the attention of Broadway scouts. The boy who once balanced on parallel bars now balanced on stage with the same precision, resilience, and artist's heart. As fame approached, Richard Gere had to learn to balance his hunger for recognition with a burgeoning Buddhist practice and inner path he discovered through the essays of the Beat generation. In the clamorous world of Hollywood, Gere pursued stillness, a paradox that would become the guiding principle for all his future career choices. He wasn't quick to jump into the spotlight with straightforward action roles, instead choosing complex, introspective characters, signaling the arrival of a new kind of man, captivating, unpredictable, and not conforming to the prevalent masculine archetype of the 1970s. In 1977, Gere made his first mark in Looking for Mr. Goodbar, playing a dangerous drifter with raw charisma and haunting eyes, both captivating and threatening. A year later, he appeared in Terrence Malick's Days of Heaven, a lyrical masterpiece where Gere, as a lean cowboy, was bathed in the golden light of wheat fields. The film not only marked the explosion of a talent, but also solidified a screen persona, melancholy, seductive, and deeply human. American Gigolo 1980 was what propelled Richard Gere into a cultural phenomenon. Dressed in Armani, gliding through Los Angeles with the sleekness of a lost predator, Gere didn't just redefine sex appeal. He captured the profound loneliness and yearning for existence hidden beneath the glamorous facade. The exquisitely tailored suits, the cool synth soundtrack, and the film's polished surface all suggested decadence. But audiences recognized a deep vulnerability in the character, and that fragility paradoxically sold tickets. Two years later, An Officer and a Gentleman made Richard Gere one of the leading figures of the new masculinity in Hollywood. As Air Force officer Zach Mayo, tough yet sensitive, Gere, alongside Deborah Winger, created one of the most iconic romantic moments, the proposal on the factory floor, where he lifts her off her feet amid applause and tears. The film grossed over $130 million, solidifying Gere's position not just as a movie hero, but as a symbol of a deeper, emotionally rich masculinity. Instead of sticking to the formula, Gere took risks. He ventured into Breathless, a noir remake, and Rumble Fish by Francis Ford Coppola, a surreal, haunting black and white film. He embraced mixed reactions when joining The Cotton Club, a movie with a distinct political tone. Gere didn't want to be a star solely based on his looks. He chose resonance over fame. Film after film, he delved deep into his inner world, avoiding easy roles, proving himself to be an uncompromising artist. In 1990, Gere became a legend with Pretty Woman. As Edward Lewis, a cold, lonely mogul, he created a powerful chemistry with Julia Roberts, who played the vibrant prostitute Vivian Ward. The rescue on the fire escape and the white roses became a new romantic symbol, classic yet timeless. Pretty Woman was not only the highest-grossing romantic comedy of the decade, but also a statement that Richard Gere could bring complexity to even fairy tale stories. Instead of repeating his successful formula, Gere delved into darker roles. In Internal Affairs, his portrayal of Officer Dennis Peck sent chills down viewers' spines with a serpent-like gaze, dangerous and cold. In Primal Fear, he played attorney Martin Vale, going head-to-head with Edward Norton's shocking character. a performance that left audiences questioning both morality and justice. Critics who once believed he was just a pretty face began to rethink their views. By 2002 in Chicago, his role as the silver-tongued lawyer Billy Flynn saw Gere singing, dancing, and tap dancing like a true stage performer. He won a Golden Globe, and the film took home an Oscar, a testament to Richard Gere's artistic renaissance. At the Golden Globe Awards, Gere didn't thank his team or talk about his career. Instead, he called for freedom for Tibet. That was Richard Gere, an artist, a Buddhist, someone who committed not only to his roles, but also to the causes he believed in. The 2000s brought even deeper layers. Unfaithful showed Gere as a husband torn between rage and sorrow, while B Season revealed a tender father buried beneath loneliness and the weight of expectations. Marlon Brando will always be the legendary number 7 because no Hollywood story is as brutal and heartbreaking. From soaring fame to crushing self-destruction, he serves as a mirror reflecting the true cost of limitless stardom. Brando's life is a harsh reminder that unchecked privilege can turn genius into endless sorrow, and that glory is ultimately a fragile shell masking deep inner brokenness. Throughout these decades, his artistic compass never pointed in just one direction. Gere oscillated between commercial blockbusters and independent films, from intimate film festivals to experimental psychological dramas. He refused to be confined to a brand. Instead, he embraced the contradictions, outward charm, and inner cracks, proud beauty concealing insecurity. Characters that only revealed their true nature when pushed to the edge. Behind his calm exterior and composed gaze lies a lifelong commitment to physical and mental discipline. From his 20s, Richard Gere embraced a vegetarian diet influenced by Buddhism, reinforced by conversations with Broadway dancers, who viewed a plant-based regimen as a way to nurture endurance. By the 1980s, he delved deeper into macrobiotic philosophy, turning each meal into a ritual of balance between seasonal grains, vegetables, and beans, not just to maintain his physique, but as a form of meditation. He avoided the extremes of the entertainment industry: no fasting, no rapid muscle gain, no dehydration for roles. Instead, he chose yoga, Tibetan breathing exercises, and long swimming sessions, helping his body remain as flexible as an instrument in harmony with his soul. Age did not exempt him from injury. In 1999, while rehearsing for a play that was never performed, he tore the meniscus in his left knee, an injury that forced him to become acquainted with physical therapy, Pilates, and low-impact exercise equipment routines that have become part of his life ever since. In 2014, after a long day of shooting in the damp outdoors for the second-best exotic Marigold Hotel, he was hospitalized in London for exhaustion-induced pneumonia, a wake-up call about the limitations of his body. He later joked, "The lungs need patience more than showmanship," and began incorporating pranayama, conscious breathing exercises, twice a day as a form of internal protection. The COVID-19 pandemic presented a new test. As the world froze, Gere retreated to his farm in Bedford, New York, participating in virtual retreats, guided meditations, and maintaining silent meditation sessions at 5 a.m. in a cedarwood shed. In late 2020, he was diagnosed with a mild early case of COVID-19, detected through regular PCR testing on set. His quick recovery without the need for hospitalization he believed was a result of his meditation yoga routine and timely vaccination. Since then, he began funding mobile vaccination clinics for the Tibetan community living in the Indian Himalayas, combining medical efforts with the Buddhist compassion that has guided him throughout his life. Richard Gere has never viewed meditation as something mystical. For him, it is mental hygiene, a method of clearing the mind much like brushing teeth or washing clothes. Close associates reveal that he often carries a laminated card with the Tonglen mantra, an ancient meditation practice on compassion, in his pocket, reading it during stressful filming hours. In his later years, Gere has not sought to hide the weariness of time. Instead, he has transformed it into a tool for observation. He continues to act advocate for human rights practice meditation and remains a living testament to an artist who never stops honing, not just his skills, but himself. Psychologists invited to the annual conferences of Richard Gere's charitable foundation have cited his lifestyle habits as an effective model for emotional regulation in older adults. Combining reflective activities with evidence-based stress reduction measures despite being in his 70s and facing health challenges, Gere has maintained a special care regimen, including osteoporosis treatment through methods like DEXA scans, resistance bands, and Tai Chi classes twice a week, all focused on improving bone density. Each year, he undergoes health checkups, including heart scans, especially after his brother underwent a bypass surgery. This serves as a reminder to Gere that genetics can play a significant role if personal health factors are not carefully managed. However, his doctors have stated that his biometrics reflect the health of a man 10 years younger with stable blood pressure at 118/72, a resting heart rate of around 50, and triglyceride levels within the ideal range. Gere views health as an ongoing process rather than a final goal. He shares that aging is an improvisation requiring the same listening and sensitivity as when he performs on stage. For him, moderation, curiosity, and compassionate awareness are key factors in maintaining both his mental and physical well-being. He does not deny time, but actively collaborates with it, building a picture of longevity by sustaining his charitable commitments and mentally preparing for personal losses throughout life. Throughout his career, Richard Gere's personal losses often took place in the shadows, but they deeply shaped both his craft and his beliefs. One of the significant milestones was his divorce from supermodel Cindy Crawford in 1995, at a time when public expectations had become an inseparable part of their lives. Though they parted peacefully, Gere no longer believed that mere attraction could sustain two people with different missions in life together. After his divorce from Cindy Crawford, Gere found love with actress Carrie Lowell. However, after 11 years together and having a child, they too faced separation in 2013. The divorce process stretched over 4 years, during which Gere shuttled between courtrooms in Manhattan and zazen retreats at resorts upstate. These breakups did not lead him to doubt love. Rather, they made him realize that love, much like acting, is a practice in compassion. In August 2016, Gere lost his mother, Doris Ann, who had taught him how to tell stories through prolonged notes of music. Her passing left an irreplaceable void, motivating Gere to establish a community arts scholarship in her name for underprivileged students wishing to learn music. This loss was a profound blow, but it also became a driving force for him to give even more to the community. In March 2023, Gere lost his father Homer at the age of 100. This marked a significant turning point in Gere's life as he suddenly became the head of the family. To cope with this loss, Gere began holding annual memorial dinners where siblings and family members shared stories about their ancestors, helping younger generations understand the importance of family values. These losses made Gere realize the fragility of lineage and led him to embrace his role as an active heir. Throughout his career, Richard Gere has faced many losses. Cinematographer Nestor Almendros of Terrence Malick passed away in 1992 before Days of Heaven received the acclaim it deserved. Longtime producer of Paul Schrader, John Daly, died of cancer in 2008. Broadway mentor Alan Schneider, who directed Gere's first stage triumph in Wendt, passed away in a car accident in 1984. Each loss made Gere realize that art is a relay race carried out with batons forged from friendship. Dropping the baton could dishonor those who have accompanied him along the way. Gere always keeps memories from phone calls and behind-the-scenes Polaroid photos. He manages a personal library not by project, but by the names of those who have passed. These memorial rituals nurture Gere's activism. He often donates the proceeds from charity concerts to fund healthcare initiatives named after his deceased collaborators. In this way, his pain becomes a continuous healing force for others. Loss has also driven Gere to engage in community activities. He has campaigned for decades to protect Tibet's autonomy, which has led him to the painful stories of monks and refugees. When the COVID-19 pandemic interrupted his pilgrimages, Gere established the Gere Foundation's Rapid Response Fund, sending oxygen concentrators to clinics in the Himalayas. Every obituary email that arrived in his inbox spurred a shipment, with each box carrying a prayer hoping all beings might be freed from suffering. Gere does not view charitable actions as acts of charity, but as exchanges of greeting to the lives that have amplified his resolve. He practices the alchemy of pain, transforming loss into service. His initiatives, from building affordable housing to funding therapy programs for refugees, serve as living proof that loss can be transformed into new forms of connection, enriching the community in the process. At 75, Richard Gere has become the father of two young sons, Alexander, born in 2019, and James, born in 2021, with his wife Alejandra Silva, a Spanish public relations expert. They married in 2018 in a lakeside ceremony blessed by Tibetan monks. Every day, their family lives in a space of 3 languages: English, Spanish, and Sanskrit. Fatherhood has been the greatest challenge Gere has ever taken on, but thanks to the flexibility in his mindful movement practices, he has been able to maintain calm and focus while always being a steady pillar for his family. With a blend of artistry, activism, and fatherhood, Gere has turned to projects that combine narrative storytelling with social conscience. In 2024, he completed a leading role, continuing to pursue socially driven creative endeavors while maintaining a life deeply connected to his family and community. Silent and Snow is an independent television drama set in Nepal centered around the story of a retired photojournalist facing dementia under the shadow of the Himalayan glaciers. The film was shot using a fully carbon-neutral production method and is expected to premiere at film festivals in late 2025. Praised for Gere's understated performance, the film also collaborates with a real-world campaign focused on climate resilience, contributing to Riverlight's list of non-fiction films. One of Riverlight's standout non-fiction projects is Seeds of Compassion, a 6-part documentary series that follows humanitarian innovators across 5 continents. Richard Gere narrates these episodes, but in a humble act of selflessness, he appears only in brief scenes, allowing the change-makers at the grassroots level to shine. These stories encourage calls to action within the community and highlight the impact of small actions from unsung individuals. Gere is also a regular presence at press conferences on Tibet at Capitol Hill, where he uses his personal relationships with U.S. policymakers to advocate for resolutions on the China-Tibet Conflict Act. His ability to maintain a strong yet gentle diplomatic demeanor has earned him respect in the international human rights community. Each day for Gere begins at 4:45 a.m. when he lights a beeswax candle in the meditation tent behind his house and practices 40 minutes of shikantaza silent meditation. He then brews tea from local maple trees, alternating between script consultations via encrypted video calls and playtime with his children. In the afternoon, he regularly spends time in his home gym focusing on exercises that support bone density. And in the evening, the family gathers for dinner around a recycled oak table where each member shares the highlights of their day. In the Gere household, from Monday to Thursday, they follow a vegetarian diet, but Friday is called World Flavor Night, when Silva prepares Spanish paella or experiments with dishes from other cultures. Every evening, the family also follows a simple ritual where they turn off their phones and gather by candlelight to share moments from their day. This is an essential part of how Gere raises his children. Richard Gere turned down a large salary for a thriller that celebrated surveillance capitalism. Instead, he chose to teach art classes at his studio, where he imparts lessons to actors on presence, compassion, and risk. The tuition from these classes is directly donated to the Gere Foundation, which funds trauma-informed arts education programs for Syrian refugee children in Turkey. Gere's charitable work now spans from funding maternal health clinics in Rajasthan to sponsoring scholarships for Indigenous filmmakers in Canada. He remains deeply committed to the belief that storytelling can help ease technological conflicts. Gere has also turned down social media endorsement deals, but continues to host small live stream sessions from his studio where he interviews monks, neuroscientists, and climate activists. Gere hosts conversations following the digital Chatham House rule with no clips or sound bites, and the events disappear after 48 hours. He encourages participants to enjoy the immediacy of the experience rather than storing or spreading excerpts. For Gere, these gatherings are experiments in short-term connection, and he views them as part of what he seeks in life: immediate connections without the need to preserve them. When Gere first entered the entertainment industry, he was drawn to the tranquility and the craft of acting. While some skeptics claimed he had lost his commercial relevance, casting directors consistently recognized his strong presence at auditions. Gere remains beloved by audiences and is recognized as a cinematic anchor, a model that few young stars can replicate. Gere is currently preparing to co-direct Mirror Lake, a film adaptation of the late Philip Berman's novel. The film explores generational memory and ecological pain being produced between upstate New York and Slovenia. Gere is applying a circular economy set design to minimize waste, while envisioning the film as a form of meditation disguised as mystery. This represents the culmination of everything Gere has learned about the rhythm of silence and the ethical significance in every creative choice. Today, Gere stands at the crossroads of craft, conscience, and care. He embodies a philosophy of life where artistic relevance, social responsibility, and personal joy need not compete, but can cross-pollinate. Each morning for him is both a rehearsal and a premiere. Every failure is a reminder of improvisation, compassion, and every camera lens is a mirror reflecting humanity back to itself, but with a gentler and kinder gaze. Gere's journey from a trumpet prodigy in North Syracuse to a global activist artist is proof that longevity in the public eye is not about protecting an image, but about continuously expanding the circle of empathy. As the list of actors appears in each new endeavor, Gere does not step off the stage. He simply moves into the wings with his hands gently clasped, ready to listen for the next cue in the unscripted grand play of living fully and shining brightly. Thank you for joining us in this video. These celebrities will forever live on in the hearts of their fans. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an exciting video in the future. See you next time with more stories.